You're deep into a project, finally in a rhythm, and a little blue window slides onto your screen, asking you to restart your computer. You click Remind Me Later. You aren't opposed to updating your machine, but right now is simply the wrong time to shut everything down. A few days go by, then a week. The notification keeps surfacing, you keep dismissing it, and your computer runs exactly the same as it always has. Because nothing breaks and the screen doesn't go dark, that alert begins to feel like a minor nuisance, a cosmetic suggestion you can ignore indefinitely. In reality, that notification is telling you something highly specific. A security hole was just found in your system, and it is currently sitting wide open. We skip the restart to avoid the friction, completely blind to the silent risk we voluntarily accept in the process. When Microsoft pushes one of these security patches, they are reacting to a known, documented flaw that was just identified in their software. Imagine the lock on your front door. One day, a locksmith publicly announces they have figured out a trick to pick it effortlessly. Everyone now knows this trick. Not just the locksmith, and not just you, but anyone actively walking the neighborhood looking for an open door. The locksmith mails you a free, upgraded replacement lock to fix the problem, but you have to physically take the time to install it. If you leave the old lock on the door because changing it is a hassle right now, your security does not remain at the status quo. Because the exact method for bypassing your specific lock is now public knowledge, your door is significantly easier to open than it was yesterday. That is what happens with your computer. Clicking Remind Me Later leaves a publicly documented weakness exposed on your machine for anyone to find. This sounds like a theoretical risk, but industry data shows exactly how this plays out in practice. This chart shows how attackers gain access today. Exploiting unpatched software flaws is the single most common method, outpacing stolen passwords and malicious links. Of all tracked data breaches industry-wide, this specific vulnerability accounts for roughly 1/3. When Microsoft releases a patch, security researchers publish the technical details. Attackers monitor these releases, using the fix itself as a map to figure out exactly what was broken. Once that vulnerability is public knowledge, a meaningful share of exploit attempts happen within days. Sometimes they begin on the exact same day the fix is announced. Security experts studying actual data breaches consistently point back to the same root cause. A fix existed, and it simply had not been installed yet. The most severe digital damage rarely comes from highly sophisticated invisible hacks. It comes from known problems with known solutions, sitting unused on a hard drive. You don't need to drop everything and restart your machine the exact second a notification appears. Not all updates carry the same level of urgency. Feature updates are those larger, less frequent downloads that change how your computer looks or add new tools to the interface. This diagram shows the difference. On the left are feature updates, which you can delay safely. On the right are security updates. These are smaller, often visually unnoticeable patches that close specific vulnerabilities, requiring prompt attention. Waiting a week or two on those larger feature updates is an act of healthy caution. It lets other people find the bugs and interface issues first. Distinguishing between a cosmetic interface shift and a structural security patch allows you to protect your system without constantly disrupting your daily workflow. The simplest way to handle this doesn't require you to monitor patch notes or become a cybersecurity expert. Pick one predictable, low-stakes time each week, maybe the very end of your workday on Friday, or right before you grab your first coffee on Monday morning, and use that moment to let pending updates install and restart your machine. That single step transforms a nagging pop-up you have trained yourself to dismiss on autopilot into an intentional, routine security practice. By dedicating just one specific moment a week to updating your system, you close the most common door attackers use. You ensure your digital lock is never left exposed.